Yes, this is bold and controversial. Namibia's first female president, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, announced the deportation of over 500 U.S. nationals who were residing in the country without valid visas. This decision aligns with Namibia's new visa policy, which requires travelers from the U.S., UK, and 31 other countries to obtain visas before entering Namibia. The policy was introduced to ensure fairness, as these countries do not offer reciprocal visa exemptions to Namibian citizens. What do you think about this move? Bold or controversial? South Africa is not affected. Hello everyone. As always, thank you so much to all the subscribers to the channel. I always say, without you, I would not be in this space. I do not take your support for granted. Anyone watching this and has not yet subscribed, please I ask you to subscribe. It is free, and above all, you will be supporting me to grow the channel. Thank you. Let us continue. The government of Namibia has officially enacted new visa requirements for nationals from the United States, the United Kingdom, and 31 other countries, marking a significant policy shift from previous visa-free entry protocols. You're pointing out a stark double standard, and it's hard to ignore the imbalance in how immigration laws are enforced globally. The treatment of undocumented individuals often reflects deeper systemic inequalities, and it's clear that the experience can be dehumanizing and humiliating, regardless of where it happens. Namibia's decision seems to be a statement about fairness and reciprocity, but it also highlights the broader conversation about how nations handle immigration and the dignity of those involved. It's a tough, layered issue. What do you think could lead to a more balanced approach? This shift in Namibia's visa policy marks a significant stance on international travel fairness. By ensuring reciprocal treatment, the government is making a statement about equal access and diplomatic balance. Some might see this as a bold move, while others may view it as a necessary correction to long-standing disparities. Do you think this approach could set a precedent for other African nations to follow? New visa on arrival requirement. This policy shift certainly underscores Namibia's stance on ensuring fairness in international travel agreements. By adjusting its visa requirements in response to the UK's 2023 decision, Namibia is following a broader global trend where countries reassess their reciprocal arrangements. The distinction in visa on arrival fees between African Union nations and other countries reflects an effort to balance regional cooperation with international reciprocity. Do you think this approach will encourage other nations to reevaluate their own visa policies? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Deportation of non-compliant foreign nationals. In conjunction with the policy change, President Nandi-Ndaitwah has announced the deportation of over 500 U.S. nationals currently residing in Namibia without valid visas. Namibia's approach is clearly grounded in maintaining legal compliance and reinforcing its sovereignty over immigration policies. The emphasis on fairness aligns with broader diplomatic shifts, ensuring reciprocity in international travel regulations. By taking action against those who have overstayed or entered improperly, the government is signaling its commitment to enforcement and governance. It will be interesting to see how other nations respond, whether they view this as a precedent for their own immigration policies or as a controversial stance. Again, what's your take? Full list of countries that require visas to enter Namibia. 1. Armenia. 2. Australia. 3. Austria. 4. Azerbaijan. 5. Belarus. 6. Belgium. 7. Canada. 8. Denmark. 9. Finland. 10. France. 11. Germany. 12. Iceland. 13. Ireland. 14. Italy. 15. Japan. 16. Kazakhstan. 17. Kyrgyzstan. 18. Liechtenstein. 19. Luxembourg. 20. Moldova. 21. Netherlands. 22. New Zealand. 23. Norway. 24. Portugal. 25. Spain. 26. Sweden. 27. Switzerland. 28. Tajikistan. 29. Turkmenistan. 30. Ukraine. 31. United Kingdom. 32. United States of America. 33. Uzbekistan. I am a citizen of United Kingdom, and I am in full support. I will gladly pay to visit the motherland. Fair is fair. Respect and dignity for Africa is long overdue. All East African countries do charge for entry into their countries. It is just a matter of time, and the rest of Africa will be charging all foreigners for the privilege. The days of what is yours is mine, and what is mine are over. Some leaders in Africa are waking up and are ready to challenge countries like United Kingdom and United States of America with no qualms. This visa requirement shift signals a firm stance on ensuring diplomatic reciprocity. Namibia is making it clear that entry into its borders must reflect the same level of fairness that its own citizens experience when traveling abroad. The extensive list of affected nations, many of them traditionally exempt, suggests a broader reassessment of international mobility agreements. It'll be interesting to see how these countries respond, whether they attempt negotiations or simply comply. Do you think this policy will encourage other African nations to take similar actions? It is awesome to see the African nations begin to stand up for respect and equal rights when it comes to world travel. I hope that the other African nations will enact the visa requirement. For so long, the African continent has been shown in horrible conditions, causing the West and other cultures to believe that their condition was because of their own detriment, not knowing that the United States, France, and the EU are the cause of their poor existence. I hope that the African people are willing to fight for their dignity and freedom. God bless Africa. Let us take a listen to this short clip from the New Africa channel, please. Thank you so much for watching.
It has stunned the world with a bold diplomatic move, one that will see U.S. travelers and citizens of other non-reciprocal nations needing visas to enter the country. The policy, set to take effect on April 1, 2025, signals a dramatic shift in Namibia's approach to foreign relations and sovereignty, putting powerful nations, including the United States, on notice. The shock announcement was confirmed by the U.S. Embassy in Namibia, which relayed the new visa requirements in a statement on Tuesday evening. For years, American passport holders could visit Namibia for tourism or informal business without a visa, enjoying the privilege of up to 90 days of hassle-free entry. That era is now over. Under the new regulations, U.S. citizens will need to apply for a visa in advance through Namibia's online Visa on Arrival portal. Visitors must carry a hard copy of their approval notice when traveling, and while alternatives will be provided at high-volume entry points, the process will be notably stricter. Namibia's decision is sweeping, affecting not only the U.S. but also 31 other nations, including Germany, Switzerland, Austria, the Netherlands, France, Italy, and the United Kingdom. The policy was approved in July 2024 and has now been put into full motion under Namibia's newly inaugurated president, Namibia, the first female leader in the country's history. The reasoning behind this dramatic shift: reciprocity. Namibia has made it clear that any country that does not grant visa-free entry to Namibians will face the same restrictions in return. For too long, Namibians have endured bureaucratic hurdles and expensive visa applications while their Western counterparts travel freely to the African nation. Now Namibia is flipping the script. If Namibians must stand in long visa queues, so too will Americans, Germans, and the British. But this move comes at a particularly delicate moment in global politics. Since returning to the White House, President Donald Trump has doubled down on his hardline stance on immigration and border security. On January 20, 2025, Trump signed an executive order intensifying security vetting for foreign nationals entering the United States, triggering a cascade of new travel restrictions. As part of his administration's latest crackdown, 43 countries, including 22 African nations, are now facing additional barriers to entry. Some, like Libya, Somalia, and Sudan, have even been placed on Trump's infamous red list, meaning a complete ban on their citizens entering the U.S. Others, such as Eritrea and Sierra Leone, fall under Trump's orange list, facing enhanced screening procedures. Namibia, while not explicitly listed, has clearly taken note of the growing restrictions against African travelers and is pushing back in a way few expected. In diplomatic circles, Namibia's move is being hailed as a courageous stand for fairness. For too long, African nations have passively accepted one-sided travel policies that favor Western nations while making travel difficult for their own citizens. Now Namibia is leading a charge that could inspire other African nations to follow suit. Could this be the beginning of a new era where Africa demands equal treatment on the global stage? However, the decision does not come without risks. Namibia's tourism industry, a crucial sector for the country's economy, heavily relies on visitors from the United States and Europe, With visa-free travel eliminated, there is a real concern that tourism numbers could plummet. The sudden imposition of visa requirements may deter American tourists who are accustomed to seamless travel. Will Namibia's principled stand come at the cost of economic loss, or will it force the United States and other nations to reconsider their own visa policies? From Washington's perspective, Trump's administration is unlikely to view this move favorably. The U.S. has historically been sensitive to diplomatic slights, and Namibia's decision could trigger retaliatory measures. The Biden administration might have taken a more measured approach, but Trump's team is known for its aggressive responses to perceived slights. Could Namibia face economic repercussions or restrictions in response? Meanwhile, for American travelers, this move is an unexpected inconvenience. Many U.S. tourists are accustomed to open access across the globe, and requiring a visa to visit Namibia could be a frustrating deterrent. For a country like Namibia, which boasts stunning landscapes, from the dunes of the Namib Desert to the wildlife-rich Etosha National Park, the decision might seem counterintuitive. Yet, for many Namibians, this is about dignity, respect, and asserting their nation's sovereignty. As the April 1 deadline looms, the world is watching. Will Namibia's decision set a precedent for other African nations? Should countries like Kenya, South Africa, and Nigeria impose similar restrictions on American travelers to push for visa fairness? The ripple effects of this policy change could extend far beyond Namibia's borders, challenging long-standing power dynamics in global travel. One thing is certain, Namibia has sent a message, loud and clear. The days of one-sided visa policies are over. Your perspective matters. What do you make of Namibia ending visa-free travel for Americans? Share your thoughts and insights in the comments section below.